You're walking around with a hidden passenger, a stowaway in the depths of your own mind. It's a part of you that you might not even know exists, a realm of hidden fears, unacknowledged desires, and untapped potential that's silently shaping your reality, and it's holding you back from the abundance you crave. This isn't your fault. You've been unknowingly programmed, not just by society's expectations and limiting beliefs, but by the very architecture of your own inner world. But what if you could decode this internal programming, confront these hidden aspects, and rewrite the script of your life? In the next few minutes, we're going to delve into the revolutionary work of Liz Greene, a renowned Jungian astrologer who has cracked the code to understanding these hidden parts of ourselves, which she calls the astrological shadow. We will uncover how this shadow, lurking beneath the surface of your awareness, is the key to unlocking true and lasting abundance. Forget the fluffy affirmations and surface-level techniques. This is about doing the real, often uncomfortable, but ultimately transformative work of facing your inner demons. We'll show you how to use Greene's insightful methods, blending astrology and depth psychology, to illuminate the hidden corners of your psyche and integrate these shadow aspects. This journey isn't for the faint of heart. It requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to look beyond the mask you present to the world. But the rewards are immense. A life of genuine fulfillment, authentic power, and the ability to manifest your deepest desires. Your transformation begins now. Get ready to meet your shadow, not as an enemy to be vanquished, but as a hidden ally, a source of untapped potential waiting to be unleashed. This is shadow work, Liz Greene style, and it's the key to manifesting the abundant life you were truly meant to live. This isn't just about changing your mindset. It's about fundamentally altering the course of your life by understanding the hidden forces that have been shaping it all along. So, what exactly is this shadow we're talking about, and how does it relate to the ancient art of astrology? To understand this, we need to go back to the foundational work of Carl Jung, the father of analytical psychology. Jung used the term shadow to describe those parts of ourselves that we repress, deny, or simply remain unaware of. These aren't just negative traits like anger or jealousy. The shadow can also contain positive qualities like creativity, assertiveness, or even our deepest spiritual yearnings that we've suppressed due to fear, shame, or societal conditioning. Think of it like this. You're not just the you that you consciously identify with. There's a whole other landscape within, a hidden realm filled with forgotten memories, unexpressed emotions, and latent talents that are just as much a part of you as your conscious personality. This is your shadow, and it's constantly influencing your life, whether you realize it or not. Now, here's where Liz Greene's brilliance comes in. She masterfully bridges Jungian psychology and astrology, showing us how our birth chart, that snapshot of the heavens at the moment of our birth, serves as a map of this inner landscape, including the shadow. Greene's work reveals that the planets, signs, and houses in our chart don't just describe our outward personality traits, they also point to the hidden dynamics at play within our subconscious, the very aspects that make up our astrological shadow. You see, each planet represents a different facet of the human psyche, a different archetypal energy. When a planet is in a challenging position in our chart, or when it's hidden away in a less conscious house, it can indicate an area where we are likely to experience shadow issues. For example, a difficult aspect between the moon, which represents our emotions and inner child, and Saturn, the planet of discipline and restriction, might suggest a shadow related to emotional repression, a fear of vulnerability, or a deep-seated belief that we are not worthy of love. Or consider someone with Pluto, the planet of power, transformation, and the underworld, tucked away in the 12th house, the realm of the hidden and the unconscious. This placement could indicate a shadow that grapples with issues of control, a fear of powerlessness, or a tendency to unconsciously sabotage their own success. It's like having a hidden wellspring of intense energy that, if left unacknowledged, can erupt in unexpected and often destructive ways. But it's important to understand that the shadow, as Greene emphasizes, is not something to be feared or eradicated. It's not some monstrous entity lurking within us. Instead, it's a vital part of who we are, a source of immense power and potential. When we deny our shadow, we are essentially cutting ourselves off from a significant portion of our own being. We become fragmented, incomplete, and more susceptible to the very patterns we are trying to avoid. These unacknowledged aspects don't simply disappear. They continue to operate beneath the surface, influencing our choices, our relationships, and our ability to manifest our desires. Imagine trying to drive a car while ignoring half of the controls, or trying to paint a masterpiece with only half of your colors. That's what it's like to live without acknowledging your shadow. You're operating at a fraction of your potential, constantly bumping up against limitations that seem to come out of nowhere. These limitations often manifest as self-sabotage, recurring negative patterns, and limiting beliefs that keep us stuck in a cycle of frustration and unfulfilled desires. We might find ourselves repeatedly attracting the same type of negative relationships, sabotaging our own success, or feeling a persistent sense of unease and dissatisfaction, even when things seem to be going well on the surface. The shadow, when left unexamined, becomes a hidden force that blocks the flow of abundance into our lives. It whispers doubts in our ears, reinforces our insecurities, and keeps us playing small, even when we consciously yearn for something more. This is why understanding your astrological shadow, as revealed through Liz Greene's work, is not just an interesting intellectual exercise. It's a crucial step towards wholeness, self-acceptance, and ultimately the ability to manifest the life you truly desire. It's about reclaiming all the parts of yourself, the light and the dark, and integrating them into a more complete and empowered version of who you are. Now that we have a grasp of the astrological shadow and its profound influence, let's delve into the heart of Liz Greene's unique approach to working with it. Greene doesn't just identify the shadow, she provides a roadmap for integrating it, for transforming these hidden aspects from sources of limitation into wellsprings of power. Her method is not about fixing ourselves or eradicating parts of our personality that we deem undesirable. Instead, it's about embracing the totality of who we are, recognizing that even the darkest corners of our psyche hold valuable lessons and untapped potential. Greene sees the birth chart as a dynamic, living system, not a static blueprint. She emphasizes the interplay between the different planetary energies, understanding that each planet, each sign, each house contributes to the complex tapestry of our inner world. One of the key aspects of Greene's approach is her focus on the aspects, the geometric relationships between planets in the chart. These aspects, such as squares, oppositions, and conjunctions, reveal the dynamic tensions and harmonies within our psyche. A challenging aspect, like a square between Mars, the planet of action and assertion, and Neptune, the planet of dreams and illusion, might point to a shadow conflict between our desires and our fears, a tendency to either act impulsively without considering the consequences, or to become lost in fantasies and avoid taking concrete action. Greene's work helps us understand these inner conflicts, not as flaws to be corrected, but as opportunities for growth and integration. She teaches us that by understanding the archetypal energies involved in these aspects, we can begin to consciously work with them, rather than being unconsciously driven by them. Greene's approach to shadow work is deeply rooted in Jungian principles, particularly the concept of individuation, the process of becoming a whole, integrated individual. She views the shadow as an essential part of this process, a catalyst for growth and transformation. It's like the alchemical process of turning lead into gold. The shadow, in this analogy, is the lead, the base material that, through careful and conscious work, can be transformed into something precious and valuable. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to delve into the depths of our own being. Greene provides us with the tools to navigate this inner landscape, using the symbolism of the birth chart as our guide. One of the most powerful techniques Greene employs is helping individuals connect with the planetary archetypes that are prominent in their shadow. For instance, someone with a strong Saturnian shadow might need to explore their relationship with authority, responsibility, and limitations. They might be encouraged to journal about their experiences with authority figures, to examine their own inner critic, or to explore their fears around failure and success. Or, someone with a prominent Pluto in their shadow might be guided to explore themes of power, control, and transformation. They might be encouraged to confront their own shadow desires, to examine their relationship with loss and change, or to explore their capacity for deep emotional intimacy. Greene's approach is not about judgment or self-blame. It's about compassionate self-inquiry. She encourages us to approach our shadow with curiosity and a willingness to understand its origins and its purpose. Why did we repress these aspects of ourselves in the first place? What were we trying to protect ourselves from? What needs were we trying to meet? By asking these questions, we can begin to unravel the unconscious patterns that have been shaping our lives and make conscious choices about how we want to move forward. It's about recognizing that the shadow is not an enemy to be vanquished, but a hidden part of ourselves that is yearning for recognition and integration. Through this process of compassionate inquiry and acceptance, we can begin to reclaim the lost parts of ourselves, transforming our shadow from a source of limitation into a source of strength, wisdom, and ultimately, a more abundant life. This is the essence of Liz Greene's approach to shadow work, a journey of self-discovery, integration, and empowerment, guided by the wisdom of the stars and the depths of our own inner being. So, how does all this shadow work connect to the seemingly separate realm of manifestation? We often hear about the power of positive thinking, visualization, and affirmations in attracting what we desire. But Liz Greene's work reveals a deeper, often overlooked truth. Our ability to manifest is directly tied to our relationship with our shadow. It's like trying to fill a bucket with water while there's a hole at the bottom. You can keep pouring all you want, but until you address that hole, your efforts will be in vain. Similarly, we can visualize and affirm until we're blue in the face, But if our unintegrated shadow is harboring beliefs, fears, and patterns that contradict our conscious desires, we'll be stuck in a cycle of frustration, constantly attracting what we don't want or sabotaging our own efforts to create what we do. Think about it. How can you truly manifest abundance if deep down you believe you're not worthy of it? How can you attract a loving, fulfilling relationship if you have a hidden fear of intimacy or abandonment? How can you achieve lasting success if you're unconsciously afraid of your own power or the responsibility that comes with it? These are the kinds of contradictions that the shadow creates, and they act as powerful energetic blocks to the flow of abundance into our lives. Our shadow, when unacknowledged, operates like a hidden operating system, running programs that are often in direct conflict with our conscious goals. Let's take a few examples to illustrate this point. Imagine someone who consciously desires financial abundance but has a shadow belief that money is the root of all evil, or that wealthy people are greedy and corrupt. This belief might stem from their upbringing, societal conditioning, or even a past life experience. No matter how many affirmations they repeat about attracting wealth, this underlying belief will create a powerful, energetic resistance, repelling the very abundance they seek. They might find themselves unconsciously making poor financial decisions, sabotaging opportunities for advancement, or feeling a deep sense of guilt or anxiety whenever they do experience financial success. Or consider someone who longs for a committed, loving relationship but has a shadow fear of being vulnerable or losing their independence. This fear might be rooted in past betrayals, a difficult childhood, or a deeply ingrained belief that they are not worthy of love. They might find themselves repeatedly attracting partners who are emotionally unavailable, sabotaging potentially good relationships, or feeling a sense of panic or claustrophobia whenever a relationship starts to get serious. Their conscious desire for connection is constantly being undermined by their shadow's fear of intimacy. Similarly, someone who dreams of achieving great success in their career might have a shadow fear of failure, a fear of the spotlight, or a deep-seated belief that they are not good enough. This can lead to procrastination, self-sabotage, and a tendency to downplay their own achievements. They might find themselves consistently passed over for promotions, unable to finish important projects, or feeling a pervasive sense of anxiety and inadequacy despite their obvious talents and abilities. Liz Greene's work teaches us that true manifestation is not just about focusing on what we want, but about aligning our conscious desires with our subconscious programming. It's about bringing the shadow into the light, acknowledging these hidden beliefs and fears, and consciously choosing to release them. When we do this, we remove the internal barriers that are blocking the flow of abundance, allowing us to attract and create what we truly desire. This is not a quick fix or a magic bullet. It requires ongoing effort and a willingness to confront the uncomfortable truths about ourselves. But the rewards are immeasurable. By integrating our shadow, we are not just clearing the path for manifestation. We are stepping into our full power, becoming more authentic, whole, and capable of creating a life that is truly aligned with our deepest desires. This is the transformative power of shadow work. It's the key to unlocking not just material abundance, but a life of genuine fulfillment, purpose, and joy. Now that we understand the profound connection between the shadow and manifestation, you might be wondering, how do I actually start doing this work? It's one thing to understand the concept intellectually, but quite another to put it into practice. Fortunately, Liz Greene's work provides us with practical tools and techniques to embark on this journey of shadow integration. This is where we roll up our sleeves and begin the transformative process of bringing these hidden aspects into the light of conscious awareness. The first step is to begin identifying potential shadow aspects in your own birth chart. While a professional astrological consultation with someone trained in Greene's methods can provide deep insights, you can start by looking at certain key areas. Pay particular attention to planets that are in challenging aspect to each other, especially squares and oppositions. These aspects often represent internal conflicts and areas where shadow material is likely to reside. For example, a square between Venus, the planet of love and relationships, and Pluto, the planet of power and transformation, might indicate a shadow related to control issues in relationships, a fear of betrayal, or a tendency to attract intense and potentially destructive partnerships. Another area to explore is the 12th house in your chart. This house represents the realm of the unconscious, the hidden, and the forgotten. Planets located here can be difficult to access consciously, but they often hold significant clues to our shadow material. For instance, having Mars, the planet of assertion and drive, in the 12th house might suggest a shadow that struggles with expressing anger directly, leading to passive-aggressive behavior or a tendency to internalize aggression, potentially resulting in physical or emotional health issues. Additionally, the placement of Pluto in your chart can reveal areas where you might have deep-seated fears, control issues, or a tendency to experience power struggles. Pluto often points to areas where we need to undergo profound transformation, and this can involve confronting some of our darkest and most deeply buried shadow aspects. Once you have identified some potential shadow areas in your chart, you can begin to explore them more deeply through journaling, reflection, and other self-inquiry practices. Liz Greene often recommends using journaling prompts based on specific planetary archetypes. For example, if you're working with a Saturnian shadow, you might ask yourself questions like, where do I feel restricted or limited in my life? What are my biggest fears around failure and success? How do I relate to authority figures, both internal and external? What are my beliefs about responsibility and discipline? If you are exploring a lunar shadow, you might ask, how do I nurture myself and others? What are my emotional needs, and how do I express them? What are my deepest fears around vulnerability and dependence? What are my patterns in close relationships? Another powerful technique is to engage in guided meditations or visualizations focused on specific planetary archetypes. For example, you might visualize yourself encountering the archetype of Mars and engaging in a dialogue with it, asking it to reveal its hidden wisdom and the ways in which it might be operating in your shadow. You can use imagery, symbolism, and storytelling to explore these archetypal energies and gain a deeper understanding of their influence in your life. It's important to approach these practices with patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to be honest with yourself, even when it's uncomfortable. Remember, the goal is not to judge or condemn your shadow, but to understand it, to bring it into the light of conscious awareness, and to integrate it into your sense of self. As you continue on this path, you might want to seek out further resources to deepen your understanding of Liz Greene's work. Her books, such as The Dark of the Soul, Saturn, A New Look at an Old Devil, and The Astrology of Fate, offer profound insights into the nature of the shadow and provide detailed guidance on how to work with it astrologically. There are also online courses and workshops that explore her teachings in more depth. It's important to remember that shadow work is an ongoing process, not a destination. It's a journey of self-discovery that unfolds over time, revealing new layers of insight and understanding as you continue to explore the depths of your own being. Be prepared to encounter resistance along the way. The ego, that part of us that seeks to maintain the status quo, can often put up a fight when we start to delve into the shadow. You might experience fear, doubt, or a strong urge to avoid this work altogether. This is perfectly normal. It's a sign that you're getting close to something important. When you encounter resistance, acknowledge it, but don't let it stop you. Remind yourself that this work is essential for your growth, for your ability to manifest your desires, and for creating a life that is truly authentic and fulfilling. By embracing these practical steps, you are embarking on a journey of profound transformation. You are choosing to face your inner demons, not to battle them, but to befriend them, to learn from them, and to ultimately integrate them into a more whole and empowered version of yourself. This is the path to true and lasting abundance, a life where your conscious desires and your subconscious programming are finally aligned, allowing you to create the reality you truly desire. And so, here we are, having journeyed through the depths of the astrological shadow, guided by the illuminating wisdom of Liz Greene. We've seen how this hidden realm within us, far from being a source of shame or fear, holds the key to unlocking our full potential and manifesting a life of genuine abundance. This journey of shadow integration is not about striving for perfection or eradicating the parts of ourselves we deem undesirable. It's about embracing the totality of who we are, recognizing that our darkness and our light are inextricably intertwined, each contributing to the richness and complexity of our being. Remember, facing your inner demons, as daunting as it may sound, is not about dwelling on negativity or getting lost in the labyrinth of your own psyche. It's about reclaiming the lost parts of yourself, the hidden talents, the unexpressed desires, and the untapped power that have been relegated to the shadows. It's about transforming these aspects from sources of limitation and self-sabotage into wellsprings of creativity, strength, and wisdom. By bringing these hidden aspects into the light of conscious awareness, we are not just changing our mindset. We are fundamentally altering the energetic blueprint of our lives. We are aligning our conscious desires with our subconscious programming, creating a powerful synergy that allows us to manifest our deepest yearnings with greater ease and authenticity. This is the transformative potential of Liz Greene's shadow work. It's a pathway to wholeness, self-acceptance, and empowerment. It's about stepping into your full power, not just the parts that are easy to love, but all of it. The messy, the complex, the parts that make you uniquely you. This journey is a testament to your courage, your willingness to grow, and your commitment to creating a life that is truly aligned with your soul's purpose. As you continue on this path, remember that the journey of shadow integration is ongoing. It's a lifelong process of self-discovery, a dance between light and dark, conscious and unconscious. There will be moments of profound insight and moments of challenging resistance. There will be times when you feel like you're making great progress and times when you feel like you're taking 2 steps back. This is all part of the process. Embrace it all. Trust that every step you take, no matter how small, is contributing to your growth and transformation. You're not alone on this journey. We are all navigating the complexities of our own inner landscapes, and the more we share our experiences, the more we support each other, the easier it becomes to embrace the totality of who we are. So, I invite you to share your thoughts, your insights, and your experiences in the comments below. Let's create a community of shadow explorers, supporting each other on this path of self-discovery and empowerment. And, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel for more insights into the transformative power of astrology, psychology, and the art of becoming whole. The journey into your shadow is the journey back to yourself, to the heart of your own being, where your true power and potential reside. It's a journey of a lifetime, and it's just beginning. Embrace the adventure and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. You have the power within you to create the life you truly desire. Now, go forth and shine your light, shadow, and all. This is your moment. The only question is, are you ready to embrace it?